My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm viewing Gucci, A Song for the Rose. I love rose fragrances. So, the Alchemist's Garden, A Song for the Rose Eau de Parfum. This is £240 for 100ml. This is an Eau de Parfum. The notes are Bulgarian rose, sweet musk, and wood. So I should like this. Do we have our bottles of A Song for the Rose by Gucci? Are we engaged with the high self? Let's get testing. Nice metal cap. Let's look at the atomizer. Nice. This is nice. Nice wide dispersive. I love the color. It's really nice. So what am I expecting? I don't know. I saw rose and I kind of thought, I love rose. Let's see if this is giving me everything I want from rose. So let's see. The atomizer is really good. It's the little things. So this does have rose in. You can tell when a fragrance has rose in. It's that deep, dark richness. And then what you need to do is support it. And that's what's happening here. I really like this. Isis Super, Isis Hedione, top note musk to give sort of like fruity nuances. Obviously the constituents of rose. Geraniol, citronellal, linalool. It's metallic, dry, sweet, ambroxan, phenyl ethyl alcohol, a few citruses flickering through the base, geranium to support the rose, some aquatic raw materials. This, okay, I'm going to put in the classification. It's very different. So when I say this, it's, I'm not saying it's like it, but this clean, fresh, floral, I'm going to put in the category of Dior Rose Kabuki, Armani Rose Milano. I'm going to put it in the category of my Amazonia, which is my rose fragrance. And this, they're all sort of the same, that clean, fresh, dry, bright, not overly sweet, utilizing some sort of wood-like raw materials, some acetates, just give nuances through the formula. Rose oxide as well. Rose oxide, you have to be really careful with when you're working with it. Too high a concentration can throw a fragrance out and it smells horrible. The right concentration of it at the right percentage can transform a fragrance from smelling kind of like metallic rose to smelling like rose, beautiful rose. This has been done here. I think it's been handled really well. When you're working with rose as a compound, you have to be really careful with it and treat it really delicately because it's something that can be damaged by aroma chemicals. When a fragrance is primarily aroma chemicals with a bit of citruses, I don't know, I think when you're dealing with these expensive absolutes, you have to be a little bit more careful and you have to be have a little bit more care and attention to the formula. Geranium, it's very green. That raw material, I can never pronounce that. Quanal, this giving sort of like dewy feel to the formula. So this is like a bright, airy, sort of like aquatic, dewy, slightly sweet rose formula with geranium supporting it. On to my final thoughts. So I'm really honest with you, right? So I love rose. I think this is a great formula. So that's the first thing out of the way. But for me, I'm not a fan of when fragrances are overly citronellal. And citronellal, I think I don't really like. And geraniol, I don't. There's lots and lots of ways to construct rose accords. And it was the first accord I actually really, really got right. And I really enjoyed doing. And I can do rose accords like all the time. And I found that when it's lots of citronellal, lots of geraniol, you get this sort of metallic thing. When the fragrances are too high in constituent of phenyl ethyl alcohol, they smell like a nana. Like it just smells really old-fashioned. You really got to balance them really, really well. And you've got to get the smoothing raw materials. Sometimes it's a real balancing act working with aroma chemicals and musks and sort of like smoothing woods as well. You've got to do this balancing thing. Too much of the woods and too much of the musks and it overly smooths it and it flattens it. Too much of the citronellal and or the phenyl ethyl alcohol or geraniol or linalool, and you get this sort of like scritchy, overly bright thing, if that kind of makes sense. And that's kind of what this is doing to me. It's like too much citronellal, and I would have handled it completely differently. If you want to see what I would do, like with a fresh, bright citrus, try Amazonian, and you'll see you get that beautiful, bright bouquet and you're not relying too much on aroma chemicals too much. You can rely on, you can do other things with it. I'm very relieved this has got Bulgarian rose in it. Makes me very happy, but it's kind of relying, in my opinion, it's relying too much on aroma chemicals and not enough on naturals, and that's always my criticism, you see. But I do like this. I think it's very nice. I think it's beautifully constructed. I think the perfume work is great, but I'm being really nitpicky, so I'm going to give it an 8. And I think when you go above an 8, it kind of, I want everything. You know, I think the atomizer is great. I think the price is really good. I think the technical ability is really good. But we're talking about your money, and we're talking about those 9s and those 10s, and them are when they're like, oh my God, my scalp's on fire. I want to go and be creative. I want to do something. Oh my God, that's amazing. And this is just a very nice rose fragrance, very pleasant. And I'm just being nitpicky. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So if you love that review, thumbs up and subscribe for fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands, and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.